activated. Oh my goodness. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. Now today I've got a really hot one for you guys. As you can see next to me, we have the all new Audi RS3, the 8Y generation, and we're going to be doing a review on it. Big thanks to the owner for bringing the car out here for me to review. And yeah, as always, let's go through the exterior, interior, and then later go for a drive. Let's get into the video.
As I woke up one morning,
So the all new Audi RS3, as you can see, this thing looks so aggressive from the exterior. Up front you have these very massive and wide grille, which is a honeycomb, and this one has the black styling pack, so everything is in gloss black. You have all these air intakes, and these are real vents literally on both sides. And as you can see the radiators, intercoolers and whatnot. Coming around to the side, you have these very cool looking 19-inch matte rims, and man, they just look so beefy. So this thing has massive brakes, 375 millimeters in diameter, 6-piston calipers, and you can upgrade to carbon ceramics, which are otherwise 380 millimeters, which is just insane. The carbon ceramics are over 100k to spec on this car. You have this little air vent on the side to let out pressure air in the wheel arches. You can spec carbon mirrors and this very aggressive side skirt which just protrudes out the body. And by the way, the front tires are literally 265 millimeters in width, which is really insane. If we come around to the back, I mean, again, at the back, these massive fat oval pipes, a rear diffuser going on there. You have this honeycomb style thingy, I don't know what to call it, but it's still in gloss black, RS3 badging right there. And yeah, it's quite a neat looking thing. It looks aggressive, but it's still neat in a way. Let's actually check out the interior. So guys, you join me inside the interior of the Audi RS3, and I have to say, it looks quite insane in here. Okay, so to start off, you have RS3 badging on the door sills, you have RS sports bucket seats, and this one is spec'd with the RS styling package, where you get all these red effects. You can choose between red and green, so you have red stitching all over the seats, you have red on the shoulder areas, you get an Alcantara steering wheel with a red 12 o'clock mark. You also get these red lines on the air vents, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, there's also the red stripes on the seat belts. But inside here, quality is quite good, but I've noticed it's not actually quite as good as in the previous gen 8V. Particularly on the doors, there's quite a lot of hard plastics, and the buttons are still tactile, but they don't really have the metallic effect, and they're not as tactile as in the 8V. But don't get me wrong, quality is quite good in here. You get carbon fiber on the dashboard, which is quite nice. I want to run through the infotainment screen, particularly the different driving modes. So you have a drive select button on the far left right here. If you push it, you'll see there are a bunch of driving modes. The first one is efficiency, comfort, auto, dynamic, and then there is 3 other special modes. So there is RS individual, which you can spec it up according to your own liking. You can set up pretty much how you want the engine to be done. Let me actually open the menu. So you can set up the RS torque splitter, which is the diff at the back, the drive system, the suspension, steering wheel, engine, and the ESC. So you can set it up according to your own taste. And then there is a mode called RS Torque Rear. That is the mode that gives you drift mode for with the diff at the back, which is quite cool. So I think I'll leave it off there. That's all you need to know when it comes to the RS3. But the infotainment screen itself, the menus are a bit dark. They could do with having a bit more color and vibrance, but otherwise it works well. It's touchscreen, as you can see, fairly responsive. You got all the goodies: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Next, I want to get into the instrument cluster. So on the steering wheel, there are a few buttons that you use to control the instrument cluster. You can cycle through different views, and it's quite cool. You get power gauges, torque gauges, and I quite like these RS runway dial where the revs come towards you. It's not as cool as in the previous gen with the big circular dial, but it's still nice because you still get the shifting lights and all. But anything else, practicality is good. The cup holders are a bit awkward the way they operate. They don't really hold bottles all too well, but practicality is quite good. You get USB-C ports right here at the front, 2 of them, so as to say. You get relatively big door pockets. This one is also spec'd with a power tailgate, so there's a button right here on the door which you can press and the tailgate opens. There's some gloss black here in the center. There is the newer style gear selector, which is very minimalistic, makes the area feel very airy. There is a center pocket where you can store some stuff and an armrest, and other than that, that's pretty much all you get with the interior. So the back seat. Now back here you still get nice Napa leather like in the front. You still get the same quilting with the red effects. The seats, well, the outer ones that is, still have the red stripes, which is quite cool. Now these front seats are actually quite bulky, so they make it a bit awkward for rear passengers to see into the front, but nothing too bad. Knee room is a bit tight-ish. Same applies to leg room, but it's doable, and headroom is actually quite plentiful, so it's not bad back here. It's still an A3 after all. You get rear climate control vents. There is a 12-volt socket, but you don't get USB ports, which is, yeah, a bit of a shame. You can't plug in your devices back here. There is a center armrest with cup holders which are not covered, typical VW Audi group cars, but that's not a big deal. So RS3 boot space, as you can see, this parcel shelf is literally ginormous. It's quite big. I'll try to strap it on one-handed. Let's see if I succeed. And boom, there we go. Now the boot size is 281 liters. It's a lot less than the regular A3, which is about 350 liters, 350 to 380, somewhere thereabout. Reason being the all-wheel drive system and the diff at the back. So yeah, it does eat into some boot space, but nonetheless still a nice square shape. Pockets on either side. There is also an underfloor. Oh, one other thing that eats the boot space is the battery is back here, but the room underneath here is actually quite big, so you can chuck in some extra stuff back here. Like I already mentioned, there is a power tailgate, but it's actually an optional extra. Okay, so let's talk pricing and value. Now, base price currently on these is 1,330,000 rands, and the value at the moment, these first hit our market in 2022. Now, the earlier cars, high mileage, go for around 1.1 million to like 1.3 million, and the later cars, which are brand new to low mileage, are around 1.4, some hitting 1.5, maybe even 1.6 million for brand new cars. So that's the current pricing on these and the market value. Okay, so let's get technical. We'll start with the engine. Now, this is the glorious 2.5 liter turbo 5-cylinder making 294 kilowatts, which is 400 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. It's mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. It has, of course, quattro all-wheel drive, and there is the new diff at the back, which can send 100% of power to the inside wheel, which gives you drift mode. By the way, the all-wheel drive system only sends like 50% of the power to the back, and then the diff plays around with that 50%. So very technical, very improved, and it's a lot sharper compared to the previous generation. And I do quite like the engine cover, which is in carbon fiber, and there is these red markings with like 5 slats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to indicate that it's a 5-cylinder. So let's take a listen to the exhaust and experience how this thing drives. So guys, you joined me inside the Audi RS3, and I mean, in here it feels instantly familiar, although I have to say the interior layout is quite different to, say, the Golf and all. I like that you don't feel like, oh, I'm in a Golf, or oh, I'm in this car, because sometimes they actually do share platforms and stuff. So that's actually quite cool. So it feels like its own unique thing, and I like how it also takes inspiration from the Lamborghini Urus with the air vents on the driver side. So it's quite cool. Now you can spec this with adaptive dampers, and I think this one actually has them, because when you go on the drive select or the RS individual, you can also configure suspension, so you can soften them up, they harden when you're in the dynamic modes and so forth, which is quite nice. Also, it rides really well over bumps, and that's the last comment I'll make on ride comfort and all. Next, I'll just go into I'll actually drive in RS performance mode, and I'll go into manual. And man, yes sis, you can tell that there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of power to your exposal. Yes sis. And mind you, I haven't even done anything yet. Literally zero. Steering wheel feels very nice and direct, and with the Alcantara it's even a lot better. Oh, jeez. Turn off the AC to get as much power as possible. We'll pull into a more open road. I'll go foot flat now. Oh, the 6-piston calipers are just... braking performance is insane, and as much as the power from the motor is a lot, the braking performance just matches it. Ah, oh, dude, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. This whole thing is just insane. The thing about this engine, it's so characterful, and it just feels like its own thing, so it feels different to everything else. Oh man, the pulling power though. As soon as you put your foot down, man, the whole thing just it just comes alive, literally. Oh man, this thing is so powerful. It is so powerful. I'll go back down into first gear. Jeez. Let's do one pull here again. Oh man, Jesus. But from down low, the pulling power doesn't feel all too different from the Mark 8R. I think when you get more to the top end, that's when you'll be able to tell the difference. Yes, that sound is incredible. Man, the 5-cylinder sound is unmatched. It's, oh man, it's so insane. And the thing is, now You can literally get to like a twisty road and it still comes alive there, you know, unlike with the previous RS3s, which could be like very understeery and they weren't really the best when it came to cornering and stuff like that. This new one is a totally different beast. It's a totally different machine. It's sharper, it's more agile. The power is the same with the previous gen, but the way they've tuned it up, it also has extra torque. It just feels a lot more racier. So 0 to 100 happens in about 3.8 seconds. Imagine 3.8 seconds in a hatchback is literally insane. So we'll just do a couple of pulls and yeah, we'll conclude it there. That tone is so bassy. This tone, the 5-cylinder tone, is literally unreal. There is nothing like it out there. Literally nothing like it. So let's go foot flat, and this is uphill, by the way. Oh man, this thing is just insane. This thing is literally insane. Jeez, oh, the way it takes off is just, oh man. Oh, this whole thing is just so explosive. Oh man. Sus. Try find a stretch where we can try launch control. Let's see, am I still in RS performance? Okay. Oh. And somewhere more ideal to do the launch control. Oh my goodness. Jeez. You also get shift lights on the heads-up display, which is insane. Control now, brace yourselves. Launch control program activated. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Oh, this thing is so fast. Yes, sis. Guys, that is it from me to you. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, that's cheers from me.